Have you ever wondered about the true purpose of giving? Is it to gain recognition from others, or is there a deeper, more meaningful reason? The answers to these questions lie at the very heart of our relationship with God and our fellow human beings. The Bible offers profound insights into the nature of true generosity, guiding us toward a path of humility and genuine compassion. When we engage in acts of kindness and charity, our motivation should stem from a pure and selfless desire to help others. It's about extending a hand to those in need, not about seeking praise or accolades for our actions. True charity flows from a heart filled with love and empathy, not from a desire for personal gain or recognition. The Bible teaches us that our actions should be driven by a love for God and a love for our neighbor. When we allow these two principles to guide our giving, our acts of charity become a reflection of our faith and our commitment to following in the footsteps of Jesus. Imagine a world where people give generously without seeking anything in return, a world where acts of kindness are performed quietly and without fanfare. This is the kind of world that God desires for us, a world where love and compassion prevail. The Bible, in its wisdom, provides clear guidance on the matter of charitable giving. In Matthew chapter 6, verses 1 through 4, Jesus directly addresses the issue of performing acts of charity for the purpose of being seen by others. He cautions against seeking the approval of people, warning that such actions will not be rewarded by our Heavenly Father. Beware of practicing your righteousness before other people in order to be seen by them, for then you will have no reward from your Father who is in heaven. Matthew chapter 6, verse 1. These words serve as a powerful reminder that our focus should always be on pleasing God, not on seeking the fleeting approval of others. When we give to the needy with the intention of boosting our own image or reputation, we turn a beautiful act of generosity into a self-serving spectacle. Our actions become more about us than about those we are trying to help. Jesus emphasizes that true righteousness is not found in outward displays, but in the sincerity of our hearts. He continues in Matthew chapter 6, verse 2, "Thus when you give to the needy, sound no trumpet before you as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may be praised by others. Truly I say to you, they have received their reward." The hypocrites that Jesus refers to were more concerned with appearing righteous than with actually being righteous. Their actions were a performance meant to impress others, not a genuine expression of love and concern for those in need. Jesus warns us against falling into this same trap, urging us to prioritize the needs of others above our own desire for recognition. There's a distinct difference between fulfilling a duty and following our moral compass. Duty often involves adhering to rules and regulations, while our moral compass guides us toward what is inherently right and good, even when no one is watching. Charity, at its core, should be a matter of the heart, not merely an obligation to be fulfilled. The Apostle Paul reminds us in Romans chapter 13, verse 8, "Owe no one anything except to love each other, for the one who loves another has fulfilled the law." Our primary duty as Christians is to love one another, and this love should be the driving force behind all that we do, including our acts of charity. When we give out of a sense of obligation, our actions lack the genuineness and heartfelt compassion that should characterize true charity. It becomes a transaction rather than an act of love. Jesus, in his teachings, consistently emphasized the importance of inner transformation over outward conformity. He was less concerned with people following rules and regulations and more concerned with them cultivating a heart of love and compassion. True charity flows naturally from a heart that is aligned with God's will, not from a sense of duty or obligation. Think of it this way: when we give begrudgingly or out of a sense of obligation, it's like giving a gift with no thought or care behind it. The recipient may appreciate the gesture, but it lacks the heartfelt warmth that comes with a gift given freely and with love. Section 4. Jesus, a model of humble service. Throughout his earthly ministry, Jesus exemplified the true spirit of charity. He constantly reached out to the marginalized, the sick, and the forgotten, offering them healing, hope, and compassion. Yet he never sought recognition or praise for his actions. In fact, he often instructed those he healed to keep his miracles a secret, as we see in Mark chapter 5, verse 43, and he strictly charged them that no one should know this, and he told them to give her something to eat. Jesus' humility stands in stark contrast to the self-promotion that often characterizes modern acts of charity. He didn't perform miracles to gain followers or to build a reputation for himself. His actions were driven by a deep and abiding love for humanity, a love that transcended social barriers and societal expectations. Jesus' example teaches us that true charity is not about self-aggrandizement, but about selfless service to others. In Matthew chapter 8, verse 4, we encounter another instance of Jesus' desire for discretion. After healing a leper, he says to the man, "See that you don't tell anyone, but go, show yourself to the priest and offer the gift Moses commanded as a testimony to them." Jesus wasn't interested in gaining notoriety for his miracles. He wanted people to see beyond the spectacle and recognize the power of God at work. His focus was always on glorifying the Father and extending God's love and compassion to a hurting world. We would do well to emulate Jesus' example, performing our own acts of charity with humility and a sincere desire to make a difference in the lives of others. Section 5. The allure of public display. In today's hyper-connected world, it's become increasingly common to see acts of charity publicized on social media and other platforms. While the intention behind sharing such acts may be noble, it's important to consider the potential pitfalls of seeking public recognition for our giving. When we make a spectacle of our generosity, we risk undermining the very essence of true charity. The desire for public validation can easily overshadow the pure motive of helping others. Instead of focusing on the needs of the recipient, our attention shifts to how our actions are perceived by others. We become more concerned with likes, shares, and positive comments than with the impact of our giving. This shift in focus can lead to a sense of self-righteousness, where we begin to view ourselves as morally superior to others because of our charitable actions. It's a slippery slope that can lead to pride and a distorted view of our own righteousness. True charity, as Jesus taught, is marked by humility and a genuine desire to serve others without seeking anything in return. Moreover, when charitable acts become primarily about public image, it can create a culture of comparison and competition. People may feel pressured to give more than they can afford or to engage in acts of charity solely for the purpose of keeping up appearances. This can lead to a distorted understanding of generosity, where outward actions are prioritized over genuine compassion and a heartfelt desire to make a difference. Section 6. The quiet power of private charity. The Bible encourages us to practice a different kind of charity, one that is marked by discretion and humility. In Matthew chapter 6, verse 3, Jesus states, "But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing." This verse emphasizes the importance of giving in secret without drawing attention to ourselves or our actions. When we give privately, our focus remains on the recipient and their needs. We're not distracted by the desire for recognition or praise. Our actions flow from a pure and selfless desire to make a difference in the life of another human being. This type of giving brings with it a deep sense of fulfillment and joy that cannot be replicated by public displays of generosity. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 25 states, "Whoever brings blessing will be enriched, and one who waters will himself be watered." The blessings that come from giving are not dependent on public recognition. They flow from the act of giving itself, from the joy of knowing that we have made a positive impact on someone's life. When we give discreetly, we also avoid the risk of making the recipient feel indebted or embarrassed. True charity should uplift and empower others, not make them feel beholden to us. It's about meeting needs with love and compassion, not about seeking recognition or expecting anything in return. Private acts of charity, though unseen by the world, are precious in the eyes of God. They reflect a heart that is aligned with God's will, a heart that seeks to serve others with humility and love. As we strive to live out our faith, let us remember the power of quiet generosity, the kind of giving that transforms lives without seeking the applause of others.